am actually taking inspiration this week from the very container I just demoed. And here was my thought process. First and foremost, the color story for me was spectacular. I loved these like soft pinks, all of these deep plummy tones. It was the right hint of sweetness and drama that I just love endlessly in a garden. And so this week, what I decided to do is I decided I'm gonna leave our gorgeous sage, because for me, nothing says fall cooking quite like sage. And I'm gonna bring in some new complementary pieces to make our container sing again. Are you ready to see what I have for us to play with today? Friends, it's been raining so darn much, we had to put up this crazy giant tarp because otherwise we wouldn't be able to film for you. We do these things because we love you and we love creating all of this magic for you to inspire gardeners everywhere. So with today's challenge, I wanted to layer on another little piece. I wanted to use things that were already in my stash with minimal purchases because as of today, I am officially done changing out my fall container clients. I did my last 2 yesterday. And so I'm giving myself a mini vacation, meaning I'm taking the day off tomorrow. And then I'm hitting back with fall installs next week. So let's introduce our players of the week and we're gonna judge things and see where we land. Player number 1. This is a rescue. You guys, I pulled this out of a container like a year ago and it was 4 sticks. This is actually a Nandina lemon lime. And what's so funny is I've had to nurse it along in a shaded container or in a shaded spot here. And so it's lost a lot of its bright zhizhiness. So we'll see if it comes back. But you guys, I am really impressed. And actually, let me show you. I want to show you this tender new growth. It is so cute. Look at all of these fresh little baby nuggets. Are they so cute? Is anyone else obsessed when they see like brand new leaves emerging? It just feels, you know, this is how I feel powerful in my job. I bring things back from the dead. And I haven't decided whether I want this to be a mid layer or a centerpiece. It might actually be a mid-story. Might be a mid-story element, unsure. We're gonna see. Okay, next thing I picked up, I have gorgeous kale. This is a Redbor Kale. It is edible. It is gorgeous. It is deep plum colored. And the reason I pulled this was because number 1, I had it left over from a project. And number 2, it reminded me of the coloration of the smoke bush that we had in here that I just demoed. In case you missed that, I will link that container video below, but I used a cotinus called Velvetini. She is so cute. She is so cute. And also look at this next to my sage. Kale and sage evoke such a beautiful fall and winter aesthetic. And also you can cut on this and you can eat it. Literally perfection. Okay, I kind of want this to be a centerpiece because I just know it's going to put on such gorgeous height. So part of me is kind of thinking this may be the way we head, but we're going to play. All right, next thing. We just had to pause because there was lots of background noise. I have a hard time sitting still. And so I raided my stash for more things. Are you ready? I wasn't sure about the Nandina here. We're going to give it a good play, but I also grabbed, in case I feel like going goth again, more Black Mondo grass. I had this left over, gorgeous. I also grabbed this little cutie in case I want another variegated moment, which I think I might want. This is euonymus. It's called Emerald and Gold. Sweet little plant. Then I thought to myself, well, this has white in it. Why don't I do boom? How about that? This one is also a euonymus and it's called Emerald Gaiety. And when it gets cold, it gets a little pink tip to the leaf. Okay. This actually might be singing the song because if you remember, the thing that I loved about that week 4 container was like the pinky softness of it all. So this actually, gosh, you guys, this might be the direction I had. Let me introduce you to the next plant I'm gonna bring on board that we're gonna play with. Guess what, you guys? I have more. Yes, I went absolutely banana pants and I bought, I think I must have bought like 20 of these. But I picked them out in all these different colorations because look at this. This is the most antique-y, velvety, smoky pink. But when it comes out as a new bloom, it has this deep plum. I mean, just look at this. This is so crazy. In fact, I'm gonna bring you in close on the veining in the center of this pansy because it is spectacular, and it is the same deep plum that is in our stem here with our sage and in my kale back here. All right, friends, let's drink in the deep plum veining on the inside of this pansy. You guys, these pansies, I feel like the subtlety of the color shifts here, this is the story. I mean, the subtlety of these pansies and the bold in-your-faceness of that ruffle, it's such a great contrast. And I just happen to have 2 of them. So I think this is gonna make a really beautiful mid-story. The other thing that's kind of cool is just as I'm looking to repeat color, I'm also looking to tie through a thread of shape. And so if you notice my super ruffly pansy, it is gonna be echoed here in my uber ruffly kale. All right, last but not least, I brought in an untraditional trailie bit and 2 more herbs because I just feel like we are already setting the tone for a very sumptuous fall winter feast for the stomach and the eyes. And so I wanted to just ring it around. All right, here we are. We have a rosemary. This is a trailing rosemary. I love them in containers. You know, sometimes you'll actually have a rosemary that won't do well in a container. It'll get little spots on it. That's usually due to a magnesium deficiency, funny enough. But I do find that my trailing rosemaries are the most hardy and resilient within containers. And I thought with all of this variegation here, it might be nice to play with a muted deep green. Okay, next. I wanted to do a little bit of an echo with another herb. This is actually a silver posy thyme, and it echoes the same coloration as my sage. I just think this, if you're gonna do an herb pot, doing herbs that have a really fun coloration to them is such a beautiful, beautiful way to go. And there is a tiny bit of plumminess to the stem, and so look at it with my kale. Is that cute or what? Last but not least, I'm gonna fill some holes with another ground cover that I actually like to use as a spiller. And I find that this is subtle when you plant it in like the fall and the winter. And then as you go into spring and temperatures start rising, that is when ajuga, this variegated ajuga, really kicks it into high gear and becomes a stunner in the container and will really start to drape over the edge. And so I figure we'll kind of use this as a grounding element in several places around the container. So here we are. These are the players in the game. I think we are going to get this sucker potted up, but I am going to do some subtle shifting as I repurpose elements and we bring this container to life. All right, friends, here we are. This is our, what week was this? You guys, this is our week 12 container. She is looking perfect. This was the one that I felt was such a great kind of traditional vibe. We've got the terracotta tone to the container. We've got some really beautiful, very standard plantings. And then do you remember how I was tucking the pansies and the violas really deep on this container? Well, check this out. They have just popped up and are performing beautifully. Now, this container has been caught in a torrential downpour for, I would say, the last week and a half, but she is still looking good. And I will say that tipping our cabbages to the outside is such a huge deal in a container like this because in our wet environment, they're so prone to rot. So not bad week 12, not bad at all. Now, if you are not new here, you know I am currently in my maximalist era, and I really wanted to put two things right here, but it almost felt too forced. Let me show you all the options I played with. I played with this Vinca. This is a Vinca Alba. It is so sweet. I love the white flower, but the white flower almost felt too pristine, too clean. But I did love the drapiness, and I actually really loved the dark green because it felt like it needed like a bluey greenish quality to it to help marry the sage into the action. Okay, I'm gonna show you the next options. I also played with a Sagina. This one is a Scotch Moss. It's adorable, but again, our tonality here is very chartreuse, it's very bright. And one of the things that I loved so much about this was it was this antique tone, and this feels fresh and crispy and new. And so it didn't feel like it went either. Okay, I'm gonna show you the last one. I played with my little variegated Ajuga and my sweet little thyme. And actually, I feel like this arrangement stands. I feel like you could absolutely do something like this, and it feels really full and very voluptuous. All right, I'm gonna get down and look one more time, but I feel like this is too much. In fact, what I would love, if I could like snap my little fingers and zap something here, I would want something with like a dark foliage, maybe like a Heuchera obsidian. A Heuchera obsidian, that would be beautiful. Or a Heuchera spellbound, also really, really lovely. But I don't have either of those. Okay, let me just eyeball this one last time. All right, I went back, I reviewed my work, and I've decided not to add anything else. What I did instead was I had these two pansies kind of shoved close together to form one giant pansy. And what I've done is I've separated them slightly, and I've also brought them forward a little bit so it didn't feel like I had such a huge gaping hole here. Also, I know from previous containers that I have worked with these pansies in, they're gonna get quite large. So I'm gonna end up with a pansy that's gonna fill like this entire cavity. So I feel really good that I'm just giving them a little extra play space. Well, I'm officially a super muddy mess, and so I'm gonna get out of this rain, but I will see you in the next one. And in the meantime, say hello to your garden for me.